me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
I brought it towards the Coyotes, and I asked them if it was okay if I joined the Spittin Chiclets podcast full time. No,
Ryan Whitney, you got a pink Whitney out there now.
This is a sandbagger. Get that on camera.
Keith Yandel, the song man, is a full-time member.
Merles just got an assist from Chris B.
Whoa, we're buzzing right now. Sonk.
What is up? We are here. Sorry for the delay. Biz has been erasing and adding things to his Toronto Maple Leafs discussion.
You are so full
This
of
guy's
shit.
been changing it.
Oh.
We had to wait for him to delete and erase. But hey,
This
we'll get into
fucking
that.
asshole, this
We'll
fucking
get into
asshole is going to be giving you every excuse in the world about this Bouchard performance the other night. He should worry about his fucking Edmonton Oilers.
Hey,
and
we just wanted to start on time, and you had the eraser out, but let's save it. Let's save it first.
You know
Let's
what?
talk about Pink Whitney, Biz. Don't get in the way.
All right. I just
of
wanted to
doing
tell him
Pink
why we were
Whitney.
actually late, because we were on the phone with the ECHL. They're trying to fine me for threatening a ref's life for disallowing a goal against the Gargoyles, but we'll get to that after the Pink Whitney.
Tough first L for the Gargoyles. Well, 2 L's, but an amazing night. Pink Whitney. Keith's got the big bottle in person. We're live again. We haven't been live since the playoffs. Pink Whitney, it's always with you. It doesn't matter where you go. Just bring it with you. Go to the liquor store, grab some, go to the local bar, have a shot. You know, it's just a great tasting drink that we had a lot of the other day in a sandbagger that'll be coming out, I believe, early December with none other than, interesting you're
My
doing
wife?
that, Paige Sporanic
My wife.
Bissonette. Where this thing goes, what happened on this?
A lot of you people asking,
Completely ridiculous.
how can you play 18 holes with a boner? It was the hardest thing I've ever did. I still have a headache.
And what will come from that and the clips, I cannot wait. But we have another one even before that. So exciting times. We're getting stuff done, and we're in New York. We are back in New York. And we might bring a goal to the Rangers. The Rangers play right across the street tonight. Can they score a goal at home? I don't know. I do not know.
I would go, but Doan's got me banned.
But I'll tell you, we almost had a nightmare scenario of the Gargoyles getting shut out in the first ever game we were at. Now, Biz has a good point. What ended up happening was the Jacksonville Icemen, solid team.
Very solid.
They had a 1-0 lead pretty much throughout the second period into the third. Gargoyles tile it up. Now, the arena is incredible. From 1955, I guess they have the ACC basketball tournament there, some other college basketball, but hockey hasn't been there in forever. But it was unreal. The atmosphere was incredible. Cool old building that doesn't really look or feel old.
But it had the right parts of like where the character was needed, like the upper bowl. Like when you walk out, it looks like the old Forum. Where the Zamboni comes out, how big it was, and it's got that like rusted metal there. So just to feel the barn, and they closed off the top with tarps, so it didn't look like it was empty. Where it's saying that there was just over 11,000 people there. They brought the energy. The building was rocking.
There was an issue before the opening puck drop. I don't know if
let's get to the ice condition. So
Not good.
Yeah, it's to the players on the team, and we have not met them because we were pressed for time coming from the sandbagger after the game. We had to get out of there because we had like a close to 2-hour drive. But apparently the night before they left the door to where the Zamboni comes into the arena open.
That's not a good move.
Not ideal for a place
baby.
as ECHL, baby.
Coast League.
They're worrying about stuffing the merch shop with Doyle dolls rather than closing the Zamboni entrance. So the humidity and heat got in there where there was puddles all over the ice all game long, which I don't think benefited us because we were skating all over.
Yeah, we're skating.
We were trying to complete, seam passes and stuff, and it was working against us. Nonetheless, all our fault. But to open up the game, they sang a beautiful national anthem. There was a bunch of people out on this black tarp on the ice. Well, then they go to remove it and start the game, but because of how wet it was and
there
the
was
humidity,
900 people on.
and there was 9,000, all 11,000 were actually on that mat at one time. We set a Guinness World Record for most people on a mat on an ice surface. And then so they go to remove it, and the game had to be delayed, and there's like black marks all over the ice. So
Funny start.
Also, another thing people pointed out was how weak the siren was. Like the siren looked like a pencil.
Basha was like this in class.
We're working on it, eh? Just like the power play, we're working on it.
It'll come.
Actually,
it'll come.
Yeah, we got Jans and Jarvis's buddy running it next game. So
Doug.
a lot of in and out.
Jarvis is playing.
But also, there was probably about 1,000 people there with like strong merch presence for the Canes, whether it was jerseys, sweaters, ball caps, where like they looked red and were obviously purple and black. So we are affiliated with the Carolina Hurricanes, and the amount of support that Canes fans show to our organization.
And they hate you. They hate
not
you.
anymore.
Not anymore. I am going to be spewing the most Carolina Hurricanes propaganda on this podcast.
Yeah.
Tulski is the most handsome man in hockey.
Austin Matthews is going to Carolina.
We'll talk about that later.
82-0 this year.
Brendan Moore, coach of the year.
Yeah.
Best fans in the league.
Yep.
Second best mascot other than Doyle. But any Carolina Hurricane propaganda, it will be spewed on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's my fourth team now. So thank you to you guys for your support. Any other takeaways from that game?
Just the fact that we're losing 1-0. Yes, actually, we are the owners. Yeah. We're losing 1-0. Goals scored to tie it. Place is going bananas. And I look over, and what do I see? I see Pasha going like this. And I wanted to murder him.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing it on his own. He ended up telling me he saw the ref do it. That's why he was doing it. But he'd be that guy, to like ruin a good moment and scoring our first goal as a franchise. They ended up calling goaltender interference. The ref goes in, took about a minute and a half looking at whatever. I didn't even know they had replays in the coast.
Never explained
didn't
why.
Say it worked. His mic didn't work. It was left. The door was open the night before. But the ref and Biz, you made a good point. I thought you were maybe a little aggressive with how you said it, but like,
well, I said I'm going to have his family kid.
The league should probably just allow that goal. Like it's 11,000 people. Like who cares?
Ready to bust a nut.
Just make it 1-1. But they tied it up nonetheless late. Goalie pulled, right? They tied it up.
I believe goalie pulled. Yeah,
goalie pulled and then lost in overtime. Actually, there was the kid Red Savage who scored it. The Michigan State kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we were pumping this up, the 7-minute overtime of 3-on-3, which is awesome. I want the NHL to adapt it, but they scored with, I think, like a 1:30 left.
Yeah.
So if it would have been 5 minutes, we actually would have went to a shootout, which nobody would have been able to accomplish because of how wet the ice was. So probably better that it ended in overtime, but an incredible game. And I was just blown away by the people and the support, and also like people coming up to you and say, thank you for bringing this team to my community. That was like one of the more like powerful words that anyone's ever said to me. But I was like, no, like, thank you for supporting it. Like, it's an honor to be here and also like feel that you're part of something. Like,
you were obsessed with being an owner.
Oh,
this guy, it's midnight.
He tried to go out and play in the third.
Back at the hotel, he's like, this is addicting. I see why Jerry Jones is the way he is. I'm like, dude, like
it was such a natural high. I would probably put it on par with like having your first child born. Although I've never done that, I would assume those are the types of like endorphins that are pumping through your body when you see someone tap your goalie and immediately you're like, I'm signing Donald Bouchard to our team to fucking murder that guy who just touched him.
But you wanted guys like traded too. I'm like, I think you could be an emotional owner.
That's the problem.
Like
after the
game,
I'm like, half these guys won't be on the roster tomorrow. But I actually went down to the locker room because they only scored a goal in our home opener, and I took all of their sticks away and gave them wood sticks, kind of like Sutter did back in the Red Deer Rebels days. So I definitely probably have to start taking Xanax before I show up. But to the players, to the coaching staff, to Andy Kaufman, like here, I'll read out some of the names. I know you shit on me for the thank yous. I'm going to go to this.
Get ready. All 11,000 people who are at
every single fucking person's getting a thank you.
Except for the Zamboni driver.
And the ref.
Yeah. So Andy Kaufman from Zoyer Sports, who, and obviously there's so many people that had a hand in putting this night and this team together, whether game ops, this, that, and all of the above. Like, we just have a small portion of this. So really the thank yous for bringing it to Greensboro should be thanked to Andy Kaufman from Zoyer Sports, Scott Einhorn. He's also from Zoyer Sports, Joe at OVG for making the connection for us in the first place. That's Joe Giardino. And then like among all the other owners and people that made this a possibility. So I hope that everybody who's in the chat or who's listening to this podcast at some point gets an opportunity to go watch a game in Greensboro. And I was just so fired up at the character of the barn and what we've been able to be partly in creating. I guess.
Yeah, you were born to be an owner.
My biggest surprise was how good the talent was. Like they were great players. I don't know, like the one game we went to in Orlando, I think we were too drunk that I don't remember too much of the game. But this game, like, unbelievable plays being made, guys working hard. The goaltending was amazing, both teams.
I think the Coast, the goalie that was playing for Greensboro, I think he's 5th rounder, 20-year-old Russian kid. He looked phenomenal. And then who was the goalie from Jacksonville that shut him out on Sunday? And I think he's like a big time prospect.
I think the point you're
hurt,
making
right?
is they're like basically the 5th and 6th goalie of each organization are playing in the Coast, and in some cases the 3rd guy, because they want that guy playing night in, night out at the Coast level. Where in net there was some huge talent.
But a great night. Pretty cool to be down there. I'll definitely be back. Looking forward to that. Anything
else stand out for you? He doesn't have a mic right now.
I want to thank our Uber driver that drove us too. So thank you to him.
Vanessa from Big Daddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Vanessa from Big Daddy.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
We put up the picture.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
And there's probably a lot of young listeners who haven't seen Big Daddy. Big Daddy's an all-time Adam Sandler movie.
Awesome.
And then there's a very, very attractive woman that he's dating at the beginning of the movie that ends up leaving him for just an old balls type of guy, like a 65-year-old guy who had a 5-year plan. And Sonny had no plan. Sonny was Adam Sandler. He had no plan. He was lost in the wind, boozing, gambling, watching the Rangers. Well, he ends up getting a kid. The kid isn't his, but the woman, Christy, what's her name? Christy knows. Oh my gosh, she came up very friendly. Her husband, Lloyd, he actually figure skated in 5 different Olympics. So we got to chat with them. I believe they were associated with Zoyer because Lloyd, we're in the box for the Gargoyles. Zoyer owns the Iceman as well. So Zoyer owned both teams. Well, the Iceman went up 1-0. Biz is having a complete conniption, losing his mind, and Lloyd's cheering because Lloyd's like, well, I'm with Zoyer, so I'm happy for either team. Christy Swanson. What an attractive name. Awesome person. But yeah, I mean, going back in the day, like I remember the girl who left Sonny in Big Daddy, like complete smoke show. Looks beautiful to this day.
But do you not want to almost like just go like buy players now? Kind of
Oh, I want to go grab European players who could get out of their contract and be like, forget the AHL. I want to dominate the East Coast.
Yeah, we'll pay you under the table.
I want it to be like
we'll take care of your family,
where we get guys from the NHL. We can get some.
Well, the way that the Oilers are playing, McDavid might ask out.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we can get into the Oilers if you want to. Is that where you want to go from here? You want to go for the Oilers, Biz? You want to start talking about the Oilers? Let me get something straight before I'll let Biz, because I know what you're going to say. I believe I know what you're going to say about one guy, but not a great start, not a horrific start. It may sound crazy. They were 1-4 2 years ago. They lost in Game 7 of the Cup Final to start the year. They were 2-4 last year. Right now, they're 2-3. Okay, so it's been a tough go on this road trip. They beat the Rangers to start, but what does that mean? They can't even score at home. And then the Islanders game, the Bouchard game, which really hasn't stopped there with Bouchard. That was ugly. And then Detroit kicks their ass as well. So I'm not panicked by any means. Like, it's not the start you want. They play Ottawa tomorrow night. They beat Ottawa. They go home for a little bit. We're fine. Once again, it's better than the last 2-year start. Last 2 years, we went to the Stanley Cup final. So not a big deal. If you want to go into one player in particular.
Well, we're not just fucking glazed. Oh, but you're talking about Bouchard?
Well, I figured that was the guy that you were going to come at me for.
The Islanders game was comedy.
So we got a text early in that one from Merles. And
Merles bet it.
Yeah, we're going to get Merles on later about another bet as well. And he's going to break down that Edmonton game and what he saw. But early on, and sometimes when these Western teams early in the season come out east, that's their time to really create that new team bond. Like maybe they tied one on, maybe they went out, maybe they did rookie party, because most coaches, they want it done in the first like 10, 15 games. And then let's get back to business here, get it out of your system, whatever you need. So perfect, maybe opportunity for them. Merles goes, boys, turn this Edmonton game on. I think Bouchard might be drunk. And the text kept coming in. Oh my God, another turnover. Oh my God, a turnover on the power play for a shorthanded goal, where literally every time he touched the puck, he was giving it over to an Islander to, I guess, I wasn't watching the game at this point, but the camera panned to McDavid getting off from a shift onto the bench. And I think he like mouthed over. He goes, what the fuck is Bouchard doing out there?
I think I saw what is Bouch doing or something similar to that. But I had the game on. I had it on a little bit late, but Merles was already on it. And it was one of the worst games he'll ever play in his life. Like, I'm talking Bouchard to a T. Now, I think Oilers fans on a whole, They understand you're going to get,
Yeah.
I said 6 to 8 regular season games a year where you're like, the guy's crippled. He's definitely been drinking. But the playoffs, he is so dominant
Alligator
that I
blood.
don't think most of the fans are like that worried about it, because every year he does this. Now, this start for him, I'll give it to you. It's ugly. He's got no points. I think he's -5. Now, 3 of them, respect to you, empty net goals against.
Yep.
Oh, the worst.
But
The
two
Whitney special.
2 shorthanded goals.
Or no, the Yan special.
Yeah, Yan's even more than me. Two shorthanded goals, completely his fault. But like, this is Bouchard. This is what, and Biz, you can bring up the contract.
No.
You can bring up the
I will.
contract. Okay. But I'm not worried about the team, about the player, about anything that's going on. Hyman's not back yet. Wallman's not back yet. If they get trounced by Ottawa, I still won't be worried. I'll be more frustrated than I am currently. Okay? That's right.
No, and going back,
say Bush wasn't drunk. He just had a bad game. You can't be good for 82.
No, yeah.
He
No,
was
I don't
so
think
bad.
people take anything I say seriously, guys. He
Yeah.
might have been hungover, like really hungover to the point where he would have blown as if he was drunk. But he didn't wake up and crack a beer. That was from the night before. Wow, morning of, very early. But going back to before we talk about his salary, I would be more worried if they weren't putting him back out there, and if he didn't continue to try to make those plays, right?
Exactly.
So I kind of love that about him, where he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to keep slinging it. And that's the mentality and attitude you have to have in order to be special. Where Jans, I would say, like, yeah, like as many games as where I'm like, oh fuck, this guy just like wound up for a clapper and then like went behind the back, no look backdoor to his own guy, where it's like, oh fuck, that was like a massive pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another one. Like,
And then some nights they happen a bunch, and those are the nights that are.
But usually it was the coach like tapping you on the shoulder, like, you're done for the night. The fact that Coffee kept putting him up.
Oh yeah, he goes out there
For
nonstop.
comedy reasons, it was unbelievable.
oh yeah.
But maybe also Koff was like, all right, listen, I was an offensive guy.
Oh.
I'm sure I did it. Like, not as much, but he's like, let me let this guy play through this, or at least sweat it out.
I think there was like Oilers fans that night at least, like, okay, you got to pull the plug right now.
Yeah.
Like this night's over. Like he continued. Now
he would have been happy.
His poise and his patience with the puck, I think that's why he's so good in the playoffs, because the playoffs, guys get even more tight and the time and space gets less and less, and he has no
He makes the
pulse.
plays. He does make the plays. He has no pulse. He's alligator blood. But my concern, though, for what he's providing you overall in his game, that I still think that 10.5 is too much. And the reason, and it's, the cap's going up, this and that, like, he's not poor defensively. He's solid, but he's not shutting you down. He ain't Chris Pronger, where all of a sudden you're getting 75 points, but he's also cross-checking you and hard to play against. So I just, and there's a tweet that we're going to bring up, and it was a great point by Scotty Upshaw. And he goes, I'm curious to know if McDavid ended up coming to his decision in the summer, does that affect what Bouchard has maybe the balls for asking for, or even makes him think about, and I know he got term, guys, but maybe come off that 10.5 number. It's not the like, oh, well, Darnell's making 9.25, so I'm better than him and I put up more points, so I should make 10.5. It's like, what are we doing collectively as a group? Like,
Okay.
Bouchard ain't a fucking $10.5 million defenseman without Connor McDavid. He's not. The reason that he gets to have 80 points a year is because of Connor McDavid. If you take him and Draisaitl away, Bouchard's maybe a 45-point, 50-point
Whoa, I disagree.
offensive defenseman. Dude, he's playing.
I'm not saying 80, but any team, you're going to have some studs.
Pull it up. How many power play points of those points that he's gotten are on the power play?
Right, but he's the guy doing it. You can't
He's the guy doing what?
He has a fucking 110 mile-an-hour slap shot that
Okay, so
constantly at in the playoffs.
Okay, so are 1/3 of his points secondary assists that you're fucking paying him for?
What is the reason why an offensive guy who's going to get you some points in the power play is getting paid more than a defensive guy who's...
Let me ask you this. If I gave you a pie graft, okay, what percentage of the success of that power play is strictly as a result of Bouchard?
If he's not on it, it's a different power.
You think it's 80%?
No, I think he's like 30% on why that power play is good.
Yeah.
So 26 of his points came on the power play of his 67 total points. I'm just saying, like, going back to
pretty good.
the tweet, seeing that Draisaitl's making 14 and Connor's making 12 and a half, does he now say, I think for that 9's my number?
Okay,
Like,
so listen, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Let me at least explain what happened, because I saw Upshaw's tweet and I was like, wow, that does make sense. But then I went and looked. Bouchard signed on June 30th. Okay.
Sure.
McDavid couldn't even sign then. When he signed, so listen, hold on. About the upset in terms of what he makes. I'd love if the guy made less than 10 and a half. But they got crushed by fans and media when they lost Broberg and Holloway to offer sheets, right? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. They messed
Rightfully
up.
so.
Ken Holland, he did not play that correctly. They could have signed him through the year. They got screwed. They lost those guys. Big, huge hit. Bouchard's coming up, okay? There's noise that he's going to get an offer sheet. There's noise everywhere. There's noise about Carolina being a big-time option. Carolina told Edmonton that they weren't going to offer sheet him, okay? Then what happens? Ekblad signs in Florida. That was an option for Carolina. Then who was the other signing? Then Dobson got traded to the Canadiens. Then all of a sudden, Carolina is telling Edmonton, there is definitely a chance now that we could be signing Bouchard. And you'd have to get ready to decide if you want to sign him or you want your 4 first-round picks. 4 first-round picks would mean it's over 11. The Oilers had no chance whatsoever but to sign him. They had to sign him then. So, like, I can't get mad at the number because he would have signed a bigger deal with Carolina possibly if they offered him. And he's not going to go to Edmonton and they say 10 and a half, yeah, give me less. So it's kind of a moot point. Like, I wish he was making 8, dude, 100%.
Yeah, I guess that's the point I'm making. I'm just saying, like, this is.
But the playoffs, when you're that good, and if he does it again this year, it's like, I don't care about the game on Long Island in October when you have 15 pizzas and you're just completely hilarious out there. You're that bad. That's where I'm at right now. The Oilers overall, McDavid said before the year he was going to shoot a ton and score more. He's like passing up shots from the middle of the slot.
No goals.
No goals. Yeah. No goals. So weird.
No goals.
And then Leon, no goals.
No goals.
No goals.
Yeah. That's an ad.
Saros. Leon the other night was like, I have to be better, kind of put it on himself. So we'll see what happens in Ottawa tomorrow.
I also think, like, you know, it's a long year and it's a slump to start the season. You got to imagine the mental grind and how it emotionally depletes you a little bit. Like Connor all summer having to think about that, talk to his family. How is it going to be received when he's taking this, getting
asked every day.
So you have to factor in the fact that maybe he's a little bit emotionally drained, at least to start the year. So things are going to turn around. I'm not saying it's like, trade. My biggest concern for Edmonton is just all this constant turnover, like new players in and out the door. Oh, we'll see if this guy works on the fly and sub this guy out. Like, it's just like a lot of movement for a team that is trying to build towards a certain goal. Like, I feel like Florida,
I think the same for your team as well.
And we can transfer over to Toronto if you want to talk about Toronto.
Before
right
Toronto, or before we get and we got to shout out Detroit, Carolina. There's Buffalo, you guys. Good for you guys, Buffalo. We'll get to Buffalo.
I got my mascara bag ready here. We'll be giving you the double wrister Gluck 3000 to the Red Wings and to the Carolina Hurricanes. Colorado out west. Winnipeg keeps marching on. There's some teams that have done some really, really good shit. Fucking Seattle. I don't think they have a regulation loss yet.
No, they're buzzing.
So there's a lot of teams where we got to go double wrist or two.
And if you want to see an NHL team,
I'll be getting Bonnie Blued by you guys.
Game time. Leave out Bonnie Blue. Stop bringing up Bonnie Blue.
I'm saying, I'm using
game
reference.
time. There's nothing like the start of hockey season. That first blast of cold air as you walk into the arena and the roar of the crowd after a big hit or breakaway goal. It's electric. But getting there, it's a pain in the ass. It's another story. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want is to be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. Game Time app gives you the advantage back to the fans. It's a hack for unlocking amazing tickets. It's very easy to use. The Game Time guarantee means you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. They got Wild Rangers tonight. If you're in New York City, $100 right now on Game Time. Get MSG. Maybe see them score a goal.
I'm going to wrestle Billy G on the concourse.
Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. NHL. That says NFLG. You fuck me, but you can do either with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHICLETS for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app.
What a read by a Whit. By the way,
it was. I'm sweating.
By the way, this sheet right here, that's a live ad read. I have not read it yet.
So this could be a 4-hour show.
This could be a marathon.
This could be big time today. I can't wait till you get to that. I'm already highlighted on this outline.
Do me a
when
favor.
your ad comes.
Support me when I pick up the paper. Don't be like, oh, here we go. Support your teammate.
Yeah.
I have a hard time reading.
Okay, I'll support you.
I have a hard time reading out loud.
I will bite my tongue.
Support
I will not say a word as you're reading that.
You got it, Biz.
But you have to say a word now.
Sponsor.
You announced on Twitter last night there's a State of the Union. So we're getting the Edmonton-Toronto stuff out of the way. I got to tell you, we're giving up shorthanded goals and we're not playing the best, but we're not sticking up for each other in Edmonton. You got your goalie getting run. You got guys not doing anything about it. You got your goalie calling out the team and the effort of the team and the media. My issues are absolutely nothing compared to your issues.
Yours can be fixed.
Mine can be and will be fixed.
Yeah.
His, I mean, you're basically as big of a fuck up as the Zamboni driver for the Gargoyles right now. Like your team's like flooded with just negativity and not sticking up for one another.
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed.
that's all I want.
And this isn't even necessarily just Leafs focus. This is a good hockey conversation about like what
a locker room,
like your camaraderie, like going to bat with your boys. I think that I would be out of line to not like take some form of accountability because I've been jerking.
Shit.
I've been fucking.
Who would have guessed it?
And I haven't been doing much reading of the Bible. Lot of palms, not a lot of psalms right now for this. So accountability is first and foremost what this team needs, and it starts with me. So
wake up, Biz.
I know.
Come on.
I know. And I'm coming on a public platform and fucking laying it out.
Stolarz didn't call you out. You called yourself.
I called myself out.
Yeah, he's getting ahead of it.
For every pointer pointing, or is it what's the saying?
Every finger pointing at you, or you're pointing, there's two pointing back.
Exactly. Thank you for cleaning that up. Yeah. So that was first things first. Now let's go through what happened and what's been happening. So this is a game against Seattle where everything kind of hit the fan, but I would say this season, first of all, Stolarz has been their best overall player. I don't think anybody's denying that. He has been facing way too much traffic where guys are getting their bumps in on him. So in that game against Seattle, Mason Marchment ends up coming in and steamrolling him over. He still makes the stop. And I believe it was McCabe in front of the net.
I think that one was Carlo.
That one was Carlo, excuse me. That one was Carlo.
And he looks
as Mason Marchment's like buried over him. And then obviously seeing none of his teammates after like a split second are doing anything, Stolarz kind of pushes him off and freaks out himself and essentially has to handle his own business.
We can run the video, apparently, I'm being told. Do you want to run it?
Wow.
You want to run it? I didn't know we could do that.
This is
I mean, a lot of guys have been here for a while.
No,
okay. Overtime, you can't let someone beat you up the ice there, and gets a clear-cut breakaway. I mean, minute left. You want to be on the ice in that situation. You got to work hard. Got to work back, and it cost us a point there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's early. We do have some time to gel, but I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's more or less just about working hard, and when we work hard, the results come. You saw it in the third period, and we can't play for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We got to do it for a complete 60.
So was it the overtime play that left you frustrated to smash your stick, or was it the overall
it's just overall. I mean, how many top points are we going to leave out there? Being here last year and, seeing the team we had and seeing how far we were able to go and the potential's there. Like, we have the skill, we have the grit, we have the grind, and, it's just frustrating that, we just can't put together right now.
So I think everything that he said is completely fair. The chat's buzzing right now. Oh, he threw Nylander on the bus. Oh, the media's trash. I think that everything the media was asking him in this instance is completely fair. He showed frustration on taking the collision. He showed frustration on the lackadaisical, maybe non-effort / back check from Nylander in overtime. So this guy's been your best player to start the season. He was 5th in Vezina voting, and he took an extremely team-friendly deal. So he puts his own nuts on the line for the sacrifice of the team. And he's saying, not only am I getting ran and nobody's doing anything, you won't even back check for me when we're fucking in an overtime situation. And mind you, like, I love Nylander, and his laid back approach, I think, plays into his favor, which is a positive. But when you're walking in, like you're on the Met Gala red carpet, and maybe you're not getting as done much offensively, and then now you're not doing the little details of the game after this guy just got ran. Fucking why not use the media as a tool? We can all keep each other accountable. I just fucking finished telling 600,000 people that I've been jerking and fucking when I said I wouldn't.
Do you not think though, like being in Toronto, you got to know, like, why would I even like open this up to the madness?
Yeah, but
that'll be
Okay, so I see that one I don't even care as much about, because the other topic at hand was the fact that he got ran and nobody did something, and that's an even bigger problem. So I think that him doing this kind of just creates a little bit more like team self-awareness. This is a story. Even these guys who don't pay attention to it, I'm sure have heard about it to some degree. And it's a perfect opportunity for even Chief Berube to address it. So McCabe saying in the media, like, oh, we didn't do anything because we thought that, we were going to go on the power play and we could hurt them there, and getting 2 points hurts more than addressing something there. Yeah, I guess I kind of get that. But if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs and you should 1,000% based on your team be in the top 3 for the Atlantic, you shouldn't really give a fuck about whether you give a point away, but yet kind of establish your culture early in the season to tell everybody what you're about. Like when I won a Calder Cup with not a big deal, with the Manchester Monarchs, Stolarz had very few team rules, but if your goalie got touched and there wasn't a fucking melee to ensue, oh my God, he would have lit into you. Wouldn't have cared if you lost that game 8-1. He would not have given a fuck. But if he would have pulled up a video where there was a scrum in front of the net and 2 of the forwards on that line swung away and we were outnumbered in a pile, buddy, his fucking wires would cross and he would lose his mind. So in this instance, he would have had this on video, maybe between periods, if not the next day before practice, to know you were going to be having a battle practice. And he would have stopped the tape and he would have looked around the room. He would have rewound it, is that how you say it? Rewind it, played it again, stopped it, looked around the room. And that might have happened 5 or 6 times. And he would have calmly said, if I ever see you not stick up for your fucking goalie, I can't even tell you what's going to happen. Because
it's non-negotiable.
It's beyond my control at that point. So
where did Stolarz come from?
The Florida Panthers.
Wow.
What would have happened in a pile in front of the net there?
If it would have been a game where it would have been deciding playoff positioning for them, as opposed to a wild card or maybe even home ice advantage,
not game 4.
I don't even think they would have given a fuck. It would have been a full-on
like playoff.
They would have said, we're going to kill that fucking, or we're going 4-on-4. Who gives a fuck? And then now we're gonna take the food off their plate.
And he's saying it in the media, and he was part of Florida where I don't think a lot had to be said in the media. They have guys like
There was no media.
Yeah, that's true too. But like maybe he's like, okay, this is how I got to get to them. I'm trying to think, because usually you don't hear a goalie calling his team out.
And then Toronto making it even bigger of a story, it being there.
But he's saying it too. He's like, we have the guys here. He realizes the potential that they have. They can win. They've got enough talent. But it's that one fucking thing that you need to win. And you've seen with Florida, you've seen when Vegas won, when Tampa won. They have fucking dogs that come in there and act up when something happens there.
I think a lot of Leafs fans too thought Carlo, when he came over, would kind of be like one of those stay-at-home, like tough in front of the net defense. And so it being him, it was almost like a bad look that it was him too.
Give me a little bit more Radko Gudis in him. If I could get sprinkle a little 15% of the Radko powder on him. You know what I'm saying? But now the fact that this has happened, I think it's a really good opportunity to kind of address something like that early. It's a big wake-up call for the locker room. And I think that Carlo, McCabe, Riley, who, some people have been, he seems to be the new punching bag early.
He's been good this year.
He's been solid. He's putting up point. Yeah, you get burned here and there. You're fucking playing 22 minutes a night. Tanev, the Frenchie, I'm forgetting the Frenchie.
Benoit,
like even, Oliver's got some snarl to his game after going down to Florida to play. So I think to a man, it's a perfect time as a call out. And even that forward group, like we're going to get to the fashionista stuff later. And for anybody who's listening, being like, oh God, they're talking about Toronto again. This is a hockey conversation about a little bit of a bump in the culture and getting that. And if you want to call them soft and rag on them, do so. I love this about sports, but I'm going to defend my team. And I know that Chief is going to right the ship, and they have the guys in that locker room. been a little bit disappointed in Dakota Joshua so far. Roy, he's gonna figure out what's going on. Lawton's coming back. Lorentz can bring that physicality, although he left that game against Detroit with the concussion protocol. So to a man, fucking grab a fucking sniffer. Stop jerking your dicks.
That's
talking to himself.
And let's go here.
Yeah,
let's go. Wakey, eggs and bakey. Toronto Maple Leafs, baby.
I do want to bring up another guy that plays in Ontario because Shayne Pinto leads the league in goals right now. 7 goals already.
Contract time.
What a move by this guy, just to light it up right off the start of a contract year. He makes $375 now, and this was all coming off the parlay.
I think he makes less than that. I think he makes that over the 2 years. I believe he signed a 2-year deal, didn't he?
You think he makes less than $2 million a year? Really?
I think he makes 1.8. I remember. No, am I wrong?
You're incorrect. You're incorrect.
Right.
So, he
40-game suspension and went to 1.7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the parlay lost, and he just caught fire this year.
Yep.
Great guy too. When we had him on,
handsome,
the guy,
smiling.
he just always laughing, always smiling. And I mean, if he could end up to produce like this, I assume they're going to try to sign him pretty quick here. Because the longer he goes, then you're risking him. Say he has 25 goals by January 1st. I mean, that's kind of crazy to think, but you never know. Brady's out; he's getting more playing.
So it's more impressive for him for his contract negotiation. Doing this while your best player's out, your leader's out. He's the guy showing up, stepping up, putting the team on his back. So shout out for him. Anyone who's doing it in their contract year.
So did Elliot Friedman not report that they're in an 8-year contract negotiation? Yeah.
Oh, really?
What would he get? 8?
I think that
they're probably offering him 6.5. He wants 8.
I think that 8 times 8 would be a perfect deal for him. And we talk about sometimes they get the keys handed to him after their entry level. He went through the tough situation, the adversity, missing half a season, played on a very team-friendly deal on that bridge deal. What do you don't think?
37 points, 35 points 2 years ago.
So what have you done for me lately, league?
It's exactly
8 times 8. I don't know. I hope he gets that.
That's going to be the going rate for a quality third-line center in the league.
And is he not second-line center right now, actually? So, okay. Yeah, I mean, just to think of him making the same as Jack Hughes is crazy. I know you can't look at it that way, right? The money's changed since he signed that.
I would also think he's crazy though if they've offered him the 7.5 and they're staying firm and he doesn't take it. I think that Shayne Pinto, as of right now, and where we all see him, is a third line center on a
He'll bet on himself. I
bet on yourself, but I see him as a third line center on a Stanley Cup winning team.
What?
He goes, oh yeah, he'll bet on himself, and
I didn't even catch that.
The fans in the chat did. Jans is one of a kind, eh? Isn't he fucked up?
I'm just yeah, you're right, man. He's not signing anything. He's gonna wait the whole year out. No, it's just his parlay loss. And I got myself to go with the now.
And I'll tell you, fuck that Cousins trade. Oh, that was a great trade at the right time for that Ottawa team. That's a win right there.
Ottawa's 2-4. They played 6 games and they got the Oilers tomorrow. So I don't think they play tonight, do they? God, Pinto parlay. What a
guy.
What a guy
you
he is.
Tell him the worst joke ever, and he's gonna laugh for you and just be a dude.
Makes you feel so good about yourself.
And then and
I'm not gonna lie, this was not planned, but we can talk about DraftKings now because hockey's back, and this season the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, nonstop action you love and parlays. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. New customers for you, bet $5. If your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Chiclets. That code is Chiclets to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Bet on yourself.
Oh, wow.
Biz.
Oldies in the chat.
Oh, no way. Gotta go.
Busy. He wants to go to the Olympics and represent Team Canada so bad.
I could see him. Oh, he's like string. Bobsled.
No, after Chiclets Cup talk, it said that they want him as their third string.
That's a no-brainer.
The Habs.
We could go. We're going to talk about the cardiac kids.
Cole Caulfield.
Goal Caulfield.
He's got 10 playoff goals now, which is tied for the most in Canadians history, which playoff. Well, it leads into he's tied with Pacioretty has 10 overtime winners for the Canadians and Howie Morenz. Now, I don't think they had overtime then, correct? When did he play? The 50s? So that had to be all playoff overtime goals.
The HUD.
He played in the 20s?
20s.
So maybe there were ties and then they got rid of him in the 50s, or am I making all of this up?
Wow.
I think his 10 goals, I'm guessing, if they're overtime goals for the Canadians, were all playoffs. Now, Caulfield has 10. The play Hudson made, the one against, was it Seattle or Nashville, where Hudson saved the empty netter. I think that was the second comeback they had. Fired it up to Caulfield, who buries the tying goal, then gets the winning goal. And then the game before that against Seattle was the game I think we talked about.
Demidov.
We'd already talked about it. It was the Demidov game. So the Canadians, dude, now the Rangers went in there and they took care of them on Sunday or Saturday. Surprising to see that. But the Rangers can't play at home. So I think they're fine on the road.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It led into a discussion where you guys kind of thought I was crazy, even to bring up for the U.S. Olympic team, would you rather have Cole Caulfield or Alex DeBrincat? You guys immediately, are you crazy, Cole Caulfield? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not saying I've made my mind up for either one.
No.
They're smallish goal-scoring players, and maybe DeBrincat's a little bit more physical. I don't know if you still feel the same about Caulfield being the lock.
No, I didn't think you were crazy for bringing it up. I just wanted to hear what you had to say, where I feel like they're kind of like very similar players, but you said that, and I agree, he even looks a little thicker on the ice. DeBrincat probably just more developed because he's been, trucking weights longer.
Yeah, he's older.
But you seem to think he's got a little bit more grit to his game, where he's willing to go like win a puck battle in the corner, where I don't not think that about Cole Caulfield. I think Cole Caulfield would lean more to like a pure sniper standpoint rather than also a worker bee. You're saying that DeBrincat could score 40. Also, if they're going to consider bringing Patrick Kane, don't they play on the same line?
They have. I think they are right now.
So if you're looking for a guy who might be a little bit more versatile, I don't think, especially the way that the Four Nations look, that Cole Caulfield is exactly a guy you want in your bottom six. Like he's not being used appropriately there. Where DeBrincat, you might be like, no, he's got grinding capabilities, and if not, we know Larkin's going and he plays center, where they can kind of play that bottom six together, and just you have that that already built-in chemistry. So now that giving it more thought, I guess DeBrincat would make more sense, but there might be people in the chat or you guys who think, no, for top six high-end skill, I think that it's far and above Cole Caulfield.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if it plays out, if either one of the guys makes the team.
Or even both. I don't probably see both making it, especially because they're both undersized, but what is
DeBrincat has the most fights on the wings in the last 3 seasons.
Wow,
that's true. The wings right now, though, guys.
Since the call out.
That was the chat that just said that. I'm interested to hear if that's in fact the case. And also, like, since we're also talking about the wings, like, wow, very, very impressed with what they got going on. They won those couple games without even Lucas Raymond. We talked about how he's probably the biggest offensive dynamo on this team. This is it
Emmett Finney.
Emmett Finney.
I looked
seventh round.
I'm like, oh my God, of course.
He's the new Datsu.
Two goals, 3 assists, but also how he plays away from the puck. There was a clip that I was able to break down on the broadcast last Wednesday. We have the Red Wings and Sabres on Wednesday night. It's the only game on TNT that night. I'm so excited to watch because Buffalo has also came out of their hole a little bit as being the laughing stock of the league, banging out 2 in a row. People are raving about Josh Doan, but I'm going to break down this tape that we had on this Emmett Finney kid and how he was playing away from the puck and covering for his teammate. And you talk about a 20-year-old, I believe he's 20, maybe 21, just how intelligent and how he can see the game and be relied upon this early in a do or die season to all of a sudden be playing on a top line. Highly, highly impressive.
He skates like the wind.
You can tell, like, he was the captain of his junior team. You can tell he wasn't named captain just because he was the best player. Like, he's responsible. He's making the right plays. Like, I think it was his first game. Was that the second game of the year? Did he play in the first game?
Yeah.
I think it was the second game of the year I watched him play. And just like the little plays outside of the blue line, inside of the blue line, where, you're 20 years old playing your first handful of games. You're like, let me try to toe drag a little bit.
Well,
here.
he's playing with Larkin and Raymond. So it's like, obviously they like playing with him.
Right.
And I asked somebody, like, how'd this kid go in the 7th round? And they said he barely played his draft year. I looked, he played in all the games, but maybe his ice time, his draft year was.
What was his points like?
It was like, I think it was like 35 points. Nothing crazy in the WHL, but I think it was more like the.
Oh, that's not okay.
I think,
playing junior in the dub.
So his draft year, he was drafted in 2023. He played 64 games, had 35 points, and then the playoffs in 14 games had 7 points. But maybe the team was really good, and he was playing. Maybe the guy meant he just didn't get much ice time.
Well, yeah,
because won it his last
year. Because you're looking at like the WHL. If you're drafting a top 6 player, you're looking for him to be at least at like a point per game, right? Some people, they play the game the right way, so it's hard for them to like not cheat, but loaf a little bit. Like, all of a sudden you got a 160 point guy in junior. Like, to me, that doesn't mean fuck all, because I don't know how that's going to translate if he's cheating for points in junior. But some guys, like, they'll go a point a game where you're like, oh wow, like Mason McTavish. Okay, this guy is going to be a bulldog in front. He's going to be useful in other ways, where at least he might hit and be valuable to me as like a third liner. So, but going back to him, Marco Kasper, I believe, is 21. They got the second defensive pair, at least when I was watching, playing together, where one's 21, one's 20.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And so there's so much on those 4. There's 4 guys that are under the age of 22 and younger. And then also what Larkin's been able to do, 11 points so far, losing his line mate, as I talked about. And then Showtime coming out, swinging out of the gate to make his bid for the Olympics. They did address goaltending, because if Talbot's not playing well, they're going to another guy who has starting potential. And it feels like they're challenging each other. And Gibson got to go in. I believe he was he had the 2-1 win the other night. So goaltending competition all of a sudden. So there's so much to be said about remaining patient, but they're starting to see the results of the Yzer plan pay off. And I was wrong, as it looks, coming into the season, saying it wasn't quite time. This team's looking like a playoff team, boys, and also being tested with injuries and battling through it. So another good signing, Mason Appleton. He's a 4th liner to start out the year. He gets a clutch game winner. Gets bumped to the first line because Raymond's down. He gets 2 against Toronto that night. So
JVR had one.
JVR, dude, that's another. I think that Detroit, from the fan perspective, has maybe been criticized about the lack of free agency they've brought in. People say, oh, Showtime. Okay, that's fine.
Stevie's been clear that he wants to develop his guys too.
Yeah.
Correct. But I would say that they were maybe like Tarasenko, maybe it looks like, that's not, they're looking for a little bit more in free agency. It might be hard to draw them there just because of how hard it is. And also not many guys are going, but I think that's been a knock. But with bringing in JVR and the guys that he has, I think that he's done a better job than I guess most people would give him credit for. Like, even like Ben Sherratt sometimes gets criticized. Well, guess what? Sider's gotten to play with the same guy a few years in a row, and he gets to focus a little bit more on playing, where I never see Sherratt back away from guys. He'll get in guys' faces. Even if it's heavyweights, he's there to stick up and stand up for his guys, and that alleviates that pressure off of Sider as well. So I like a lot of things that they've done, and wow, are things ever coming up?
So we're about 8 minutes, I think. Trip Tracy's going to join us to talk Carolina. They are just crushing teams. They look amazing. I think Jarvis has 4 game-winning goals already, and they have 5 wins. That's
Chiclets bump.
Chiclets bump. I love that kid.
What do you think about the Wings?
I love them. I mean, I think that if they can get this play from the young guys all year, they're in the playoffs, no question. I also think it's so early. But if that's Sandin Pellikka, like he's playing 20 minutes a night, like I didn't even think he necessarily be in the NHL this year. I thought he might start in the minors, but like they threw him in. He plays great. So if they're able to have these young guys play as well, like Emmett Finney, it's his first year, like he could easily hit a wall at some point.
Yeah, usually see from the young guys after 20.
100%. And then the old guys actually after game 20, 25, they start picking it up. So
yeah, you're right. If they can keep where they're going now, even to 90-80% of that, they're going to be laughing.
I'm really hoping we see, like, Seider went from winning the Calder to finding another gear after that, to where I'm waiting for that next gear now. I'm waiting for that next.
The Hedman gear.
Hedman gear.
Yeah.
A couple years of where you don't know what you are, and then boom, you win in Norris.
I mean, we were talking about Hedman's career the other night at dinner. Like, you look at his stats, and I mean, they were nothing crazy for quite a while.
It's like 5 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like 2 years. It was like 5 years, like 25 points, 30 points, 15. Like,
I'm really hoping that happens, and we're jumping teams here, but I'm hoping that happens with Owen Power. I feel like,
well, we could talk Buffalo. I mean, we're gonna we'll wait because Trip Tracy's coming on.
So
I got to do an ad. But Buffalo, I mean, they scored one of the sickest goals of the year. All 5 guys on the team touched it. Owen Power buried the 3rd goal against Florida. But body armor is a big part of this podcast, guys. We talk about them a lot. I always talk about the strawberry banana I have on my desk. This episode is brought to you by Body Armor, the official sports drink of the NHL. Has great tasting flavors. I always say strawberry banana, peach mango. No artificial sources, none of the crap, none of the bull, none of the stuff that you will feel worse after drinking is in Body Armor. It's a bold new look with the same great taste. Now available in Canada. People told me it's been available in Canada for a while. I don't know if that's true, because I'm reading now available in Canada.
Yeah, because when
you're crazy,
when I'm on the road trips, I buy them because I got the wide nozzle.
So we're in Canada. We've been in Canada. We ain't leaving Canada. Okay. So whether you're hitting the ice, the gym, or just need something refreshing, grab Body Armor today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you. Body Armor, choose better. I think with that, we bring on a guy who chooses positivity. If you remember last year's playoffs, Trip Tracy, this guy. Look at him.
I get morning texts of him walking his dog.
Walking in the woods saying, Whit, you're doing great. I'm like, dude, I hate myself. Call me more.
How you doing, buddy?
I love the show. And as a matter of fact, I'm here in the stick room, you legends. And I think I just saw some Body Armor. Hopefully fuel the Canes to stretch this thing to 6 against the Golden Knights tonight. You guys are fabulous. I listened to the Seth Jarvis episode.
What a guy.
For the flight to San Jose last week.
Well, this guy, he can't stop scoring game-winning goals. I think I want to get the whole breakdown of the Canes to you. My first question, though, is like, if somebody told you that they'd be 5-0, dominating the way they have, and Svechnikov would have no points and Ehlers would have no points, you'd say no chance.
And you haven't played the last 3 games with Jacob Slavin. So
yeah, like, God,
I wouldn't have said that, Whit.
What's wrong with those guys? If there's anything wrong, are they snake bit?
I heard Svech got bumped to the 4th line. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow, he's getting the Biz treatment.
That was Biz. Let's see, California swing. That was in the 2nd period of the first game last Tuesday against the Sharks. I still think Andre's trying to figure out, what regular season physical impact looks for him. In the playoffs, I think it's easier for him. He hasn't been as physical as I'd like him to be, and I want to see him shoot pucks and hold on to more pucks. But it's remarkable because he has not been himself. I thought he had a pretty good preseason and hasn't translated so far. And Ehlers has historically been a slow starter. He's had some moments where it looks like he's on the cusp, giving him more runway because obviously adjusting to a new team and the fact that the Hurricanes have been rolling. And when I look at the trifecta here in this beautiful screen, the guy that's been carrying the load individually in his line has been Whit's old teammate, Jordan Staal.
I saw the other night he had 2.
91% in the face-off circle, boys.
Holy fucking Popeye wrist.
Yeah.
That's just a hammer.
Yeah, it's just remarkable. I mean, he and Jordan Marduk, your compadre too, boys, that line with Marduk, Staal, and Will Carrier, a healthy Will Carrier, has been the single biggest reason, aside, the game winning guru of, of Jarvis's contributions. But that Staal line has been magical.
Yeah, I guess I was reading online. A lot of people said that they came in like really well conditioned. Like this was a training camp where, not to say poopy pants, but it's like, boys, we got to take it to a different level if we want to beat Florida, if that's who we meet. But hey, there's always another gear with Rod the Bod, right? Like he's always looking to push it and push it and push it. So how did you feel about the team coming out of camp and how they looked?
I thought that I'm just thinking in my head before I comment. The way that the preseason schedule, Biz, was slated, they had between their 5th game and their 6th game, they had a pretty significant break in the schedule. So Rod typically, the last game was on the road in Nashville. He typically wouldn't play an NHL lineup. He'd play young guys in that last preseason game on the road. You don't want your regulars to travel, but you didn't want too much of a layoff before you open against the Devils. So he played his NHL lineup, and I thought that was a really good thing. I thought that was a good tune-up. I again, look at the Jordan Stahls of the world, the Jordan Martinuks, the way they set the tone from a fitness standpoint. And in all of Rod Brindamore's years, because we always go on this long trip when the state fair is in Raleigh, the Hurricanes have made a habit of getting in front of the standings in the NHL year after year.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do have good
Always.
Boys. But I'm going to go back. I'm going back to the captain again, because you tell me, as long as your careers were, gentlemen, as you got older in your careers, did you have to pay that much more attention to nutrition? This is a great Alex. Just peek in, Alexander Nikishin, and say hello to Spit. Just
No
wave.
This is the big horse.
We love this guy.
Hey, first goal. Congrats.
Trip, you're out. Sit down.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What a player.
Hey, I want to ask you quickly, though, about when you first got to Carolina, that interaction you had with Rod. Like, what did that mean to you? How cool it was? They ended up putting the video online.
Did you understand that?
Yeah, I understood. I
Come
now,
on in, peek your head in, baby.
Let him sit.
Okay, boss. I know talk. Have a good day, please.
Hey, attaboy.
What an answer.
Attaboy.
What an answer.
His English was perfect.
This guy is a real deal. Remember,
Yeah.
we talked about him last year when you guys had me on. His first practice after that meeting with Rod, he couldn't speak a lick of the language, but he's tapping all the veteran English-speaking guys. He's got charisma.
And he's got a cannon, too. His first goal, I saw a big celebration. He throws his weight around. He could skate. Jarvis was complimenting him a bunch. Looks
Big
awesome.
time. I was gonna so you probably travel on the team charter. We got a chance to interview Jarvis. It must be an absolute comedy routine with this guy around all the time. Like there wasn't a more perfect guy for that Amazon series, because he said it was weird having the cameras around, but he plays into it so well.
He plays in one of the card tables, Spittin Chiclet friend Martinuk in the other one, right in front of me. And I like to go carve these guys, especially on the long flights. And so I'm in the back there flying to San Jose, and I'm watching the episode with Jarvis. And, I'm going up there and I'm getting him going about the fact that he can't swim. I can swim. I quit the swim team for other reasons. I just had no interest in the Speedo.
You're an adult.
I'm telling him, about, hey, you gotta go welcome the Spittin Chiclets Club in Greensboro. You'll have a ball. So I love walking up to the card table. And then, part of that hot stove that you guys had, he mentioned, that he loved Matt Damon. And I remember when I was playing at Harvard, the Matt Damon, what a nice guy, used to come to our games and cheer us on. So you guys actually planted the seed. We were in LA on Saturday night. So I asked Mr. Charisma, Seth Jarvis, in the bench interview before the game, what Hollywood actor, because they'd all be lining up to play in the movie, who would you choose? And he said, Danny DeVito.
That's funny.
To play him?
To play him, Dick.
He is tiny.
That's a hell of an answer.
I didn't know I was.
Well, at least
Jarvis just saw like a Jersey Mike's commercial.
Hey, and he's just being modest. I think he's very, very aware of his looks, right? So he looks a lot more like Danny DeVito than he does Matt Damon. Yeah. At least he's being realistic and probably a little bit funnier. My God, that is unreal.
Is Svech, is it like body language during practice on fourth line? Any worries there? Some guys, they get sent down, they can be kind of poopy pants, and others just, you can't tell. That's what you're hoping for, at least.
I think Whit, so far his attitude's been good.
Good.
The game's just a work in progress. I'll give you because what a great cameo from Alexander Nikishin. So Nikishin scores his first NHL goal Thursday in Anaheim. It's Fetch's game. Andre, it's a work in progress, but the interview after the game, because, Nikishin needs a translator, there's Andrei Svechnikov to translate, which those certainly made marks with me, because, he totally understood the special moment for young Alexander Nikishin and got
He's
out
like,
there and was
That's
translated.
awesome. That's awesome.
But, when I'm thinking about Andre right now, you need him to get himself back to being Svechnikov, because the gauntlet this week, Vegas tonight, Colorado a couple of nights from now, and then Dallas to finish off the trip. I'd love to see this line come together with Aho, Jarvis, and Ehlers. They've ended games, Jarvis in particular. Aho's off to a great playmaking start, but I'm going to get a real good gauge against these contending clubs this week. Is that line big enough? You'd love to have the option of Andre's game going. They've got a couple other lefties. Robinson's been great early. Taylor Hall's had a good start, but if you ever need some more size on that line.
Just going back to Svech, he did get rocked in preseason. Like a quick answer, like did maybe that have anything to do with it? And my longer one is you're seeing what Natchez is doing, right? And I don't want to say I've been critical of it, but it's clear that the return and moving on from him and kind of what it's brought this team. I feel like Carolina's always been about doing for the greater good of the overall team. And by moving off of him, they've been able to add Keandre Miller, Taylor Hall, who's a veteran who is fit in great there. He got the extension. And and then Stankoven, who is like, that is your prototypical Carolina Hurricane. So how is that panned out, and how jacked up are you about that move, despite having to lose a guy with probably as much high-end talent as Marty Natchez?
I mean, initially, because I've always had the access here, being in Carolina as long as I have, that, I developed personal relationships with the guys, and I have a close personal relationship with Marty Natchez. Can't wait to see him, when we go to Denver after this game. Jack Drury, his dad was my captain in college. He was another guy tough to say goodbye to. But ultimately, I mean, the Hurricanes did a heck of a job in the conclusion of it, because when I heard, I think it was the night before the trade deadline, that things were heating up with the Dallas Stars, Stankoven played his first NHL game in Raleigh against the Hurricanes, and I loved him. And I said, I hope Logan Stankoven is part of the deal here. So he was. He's a perfect Hurricane. Rod loves that, coach's office is right across the hall, that, he might as well have a key to the coach's office. Rod's trying him at center. He's knocking on that door every day. How can I get better? How can you make me a good guy in the face-off circle? And then one of the picks that you acquired when you moved Mikko to Dallas was used to get Keandre Miller. And Keandre Miller, wow, seamless adjustment. He's playing over 23 minutes a night. He wanted to be in Carolina. He's a Minnesotan. He loves the outdoors, so he likes the quiet part of being in Carolina. But in the 3 games, boys, without Jacob Slavin and everything he means, Keandre Miller has been a huge story, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the whole blue line. Gostisbehere, unfortunately, is out right now, but Sean Walker is the other guy that absolutely should be mentioned.
He flies.
Overall return, you get Stankoven and you get Keandre Miller, and you lock him in for the long term. So the Hurricanes came out of it just fine.
I got Tulsky winning GM of the year, so that's me. That's just me.
Keandre Miller kind of reminds me when Brady Shea came down to you guys, a guy that can trust his skating, especially in the D zone. They're just so effortlessly good at skating, and they can just skate all day with their forward.
Jans, perfect.
Thanks,
Round of applause for Jans, dude.
I know you guys.
Did you play?
Did
you play?
You know the game, man. You know puck.
Did Jans play?
Because I was, I think I was sitting having a steak dinner in downtown Raleigh, trying to avoid the Biz gout with our assistant coach.
That's where I got it.
With our assistant coach, Dean Chenouth at the time, who did a terrific job in Winnipeg now, when we learned that the Hurricanes had acquired Brady Shea. And Brady Shea, he had shown potential in New York, but it hadn't taken off. This is one of the finest trades in Carolina history of what Brady Shea meant to Carolina. Lefty like Keandre. And when the trade first happened and the extension for Miller, I said to myself, if Keandre can be any semblance of the way that Brady's career took off in Carolina, Minnesotan, Shea, like Miller, then the Hurricanes are going to be groovy. And so far, it's just off to a super start.
I love that fast team to watch. And like you said, like to do this well without those guys scoring yet. Like, Ehlers, he's going to light it up at some point. So if they get – what is up with Slavin, though?
Slavin, my mindset, he didn't play at all in the preseason. So he was fighting something. And, then his first 2 games against New Jersey and Philadelphia at home, he's so smart, even without the preseason. He didn't have that explosive step from not playing in the preseason, but he's still so damn smart that he can do Slavin type things, but he didn't look 100% to me. So big picture, you just absolutely need whatever the route is for him to get there, him to be 100%. He hasn't been on the trip. So I'll get an update, when the Hurricanes get back to Raleigh. Now you got Gostisbehere out. I don't feel like it's going to be long-term. Shayne Gostisbehere was off to a marvelous start.
He's an underrated dynamo offensively. Like, he drives traffic for me. I loved him in Arizona. I feel like he got traded to, was it Philly? Detroit? He had a cup of coffee there too, where went in there, had success. I think that was a year where they just missed out by a point of playoffs. And then back, he's been with you guys twice, correct?
I remember it like yesterday because I didn't think the Hurricanes were going to do much at the deadline. And we had a practice here before going to Tempe to play the Coyotes. And that's when they acquired Shayne Gostisbehere at the deadline. And, played the first game, he switched locker rooms against the Coyotes. He was very solid in his first tenure as a Hurricane. And then after Detroit, they didn't jump immediately to extend him after he just about willed him into the playoffs. Remember when he kept that puck in and that win against Montreal in game 8 to stay alive? And the thing about Gostisbehere this year, I've never seen him play this well defensively. Never, whether it be in Carolina or in his career. And he's one guy, Jans Witt being defenseman. How would you feel about this? Like a couple in the playoffs last year when Nikishin broke in, the closeout game against Washington in the second round, he had to play his offside.
That's hard.
I didn't mind playing my offside.
I couldn't stick handle, so that was hard for me. But it's hard to switch.
Yeah,
sides.
It's very hard. Like I'm always amazed. Like Mackenzie Weegar to me, I think is the best in the league at it, but it's very difficult to do, especially in a playoff time when you're not used to it and you're playing with a young guy who's not familiar with the NHL. Like that's a tall task.
Let's describe it to people though. So it basically if you're playing your offside, most of the times you have to accept it on your backhand and then get it to your forehand. So you're right. Is that
Yeah, well, I think you're getting it on your forehand sometimes in your blind sides here, right? Like it's a little harder to see like what's over here if you're collecting it on your forehand. And then offensively, I almost disagree because you can get it on your forehand on the blue line and walk the line easier.
I feel so it's harder to pick it off the wall.
Yes,
zone,
sure.
Where you have to work on how you like attack the boards. Like Oliver Ekman-Larsson was always good at it, how he would kind of just like mohawk turn, and then he would put his blade against the boards where he would, when it was rimming around, it would like basically one touch it to himself. Yeah. But ultimately,
it's good for wheeling the net because if it was dumped in your corner, wheeling the net because you're on your forehand.
Then you're on your forehand if you go around.
That was the only good part about it.
Yeah, but for most of the case, teams will, if they're aware of that's happening, they'll force it to your side because when you're having to get it from your backhand to then your forehand to make the play, like those stick lanes close so quickly in the NHL where all of a sudden the play that was there is not there anymore. And that just means like breathing down more of their neck on like a forecheck, creating a turnover, and then more OZO time. So it is not easy, and over the course of playing like a 20-minute game where you're playing your backhand, how many times you're going to end up in that vulnerable situation where you're losing time to make your play. Like certain guys can do it clean and they're just filthy like that, but very rare where guys are doing it nonstop.
Yeah, that half a second is
everything in the NHL.
All right, Tripp, we got Rollback. Last question time with you. Right now, use code Chiclets at rollback.com for a generous 20% off your first purchase through the end of the week. That's CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all polos, hoodies, joggers, and more. Code Chiclets, rollback.com. Last week, we were discussing that Grinelli and Merles were up at a Maine game. They saw this kid, Justin Poirier, at a hat trick, unreal player from Major Junior. We look it up, kind of an undersized Carolina Hurricanes pick. We know about Nadeau, Bradley Nadeau. He's playing in the Wolves system right now in Chicago, who on the broadcast, it was brought up, skated with McKinnon and Crosby was telling him, dude, shoot that puck. Your shot's amazing. Who in Carolina is in charge of the drafting? They're obviously...
Trip. Doing it. Does it all.
Sorry. How do you find these guys, Trip? You're unbelievable.
Oh, thank you, boy. It's going to go right to my head. It's Darren York who's in charge of the scouting department and the drafting department at the amateur level. You guys mentioned Poirier. He had a hat trick in the game. In his first game or right at the beginning for Maine. I'm not responsible for drafting these guys, but my sources tell me he can really fire the puck. Nadeau, you mentioned, scored a lax goal for Chicago yesterday, had a sensational preseason where he just about earned his way onto this team. If it wasn't as deep as it is, he'd be in the lineup right now. And the other guy I'd like to mention, they've got a prospect that's playing at Penn State named Charlie Serrato, who's leading the NCAA in scoring right now. So Darren York is the guy that deserves the kudos for it. The amateur draft is what he spoons with at night, and he's doing a heck of a job.
So, Trip, you're in Vegas right before we let you go. Is that tonight?
In Vegas tonight. And you know what? I love it, games like this, because we're staying here after the game.
Oh, God.
Guys have got a carrot.
Oh, God.
Guys have got a carrot,
Yep.
for after the game.
Yep.
I love it. Their toughest test so far, the Vegas Golden Knights. So we stay here, fly to Denver tomorrow. We're going to be on hand for the ceremony for Brent Burns' 1500th when we're in Colorado on Thursday, which is going to be a treat.
Oh, they
that's
saved.
nice.
They
Doing
saved to do
Yes.
that is so fucking smart.
That's amazing.
The league can't lose right now.
Yeah.
No.
Every move they're making is awesome. Now, I know we said last question. Was there? Do you have like a favorite Carolina Hurricane story, or was there maybe even something that when you came on the podcast you thought that we were going to ask you about Hurricanes related that we didn't? So if you have like maybe it's like a Rod story, like anything from like a nostalgia perspective for all the Carolina Hurricanes fans in the chat. And listen, it's going to change because we're a Carolina Hurricanes podcast because we're affiliated. We're basically part owners of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
We are going to be pumping so much Carolina Hurricanes.
We're your boss, kind of, dude.
Yeah, technically.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, just because Jordan Staal got his 300th goal
I love this.
On Saturday, it was 2012. And Thunder Bay, I went to all 4 Staal weddings, and it is a tough place to get to. Thankfully, I'm convinced they're people of great faith. There's never going to be a divorce. So they're all going to last a lifetime, because I'm not going to have to make the trek to Thunder Bay again. But I was there.
Only to scout.
Jordan's 300th Saturday. I was there, what was it, June of 2012. I'm sitting at the wedding reception with one of Witt's former agents, Paul Jerry McGuire Krapelka, and with his Boston accent. So Sidney Crosby, all the Penguins are there. Jordan and his wife, Heather, are just making the rounds to thank everybody for coming. And Krapelka goes to me, Emmett, my real name, I got to go tell Stalzy he got traded. So
that was that day?
Yeah, right during the reception.
Holy shit.
He rolls over. The Penguins are there. They're right at the beginning of his marital bliss. And since then, he broke his leg in a preseason game. He came to Carolina to play with Eric. Eric moved on to the Rangers, 10 years without the playoffs. So in a big milestone night for Jordan on Saturday, really made me appreciate the journey with the Hurricanes going back to that mid-wedding reception trade.
A great teammate.
So
great
you were there.
captain.
You were there for Eric's wedding because he'd played there, and then so the trade was.
He invited himself to join.
Actually, you're right. The second one, I was a family friend, and Mark Stahl, who has the best sense of humor, said during his wedding reception, "What are you, a friend of the family? How are How are you here? Eric Stolarz, you guys got to go, but that was the
No.
best because he got married. He got married about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And the reception didn't start until 7 at night.
Oh, wow.
So-
Okay. Big gap.
And they're all at this hotel, the Valhalla. So we're killing time. I'm with Jimmy Rutherford, Kripelka again, Ricky Curran, another one of Witt's agents. And they had, I think the hotel bar there is called Timber or something like that. And all the boys that are on the team, they just won the Stanley Cup. They're all afraid to booze in front of the GM. Cam Ward, Eric Cole, they're all sneaking around the corner because we had a 6 or 7 hour shift after Eric's wedding before the reception started. And they're all afraid to have a few in front of the GM. Jimmy, Kripelka, and I were having nachos and a few drinks. And in comes Mike Commodore.
Oh, yeah.
And
He don't give a fuck.
he had no problem with it whatsoever, ordered beers and a round of shots. And Jimmy Rutherford absolutely loved it. They all got married in order, and that was Eric Stahl's wedding to kick it all off.
Rutherford's like, fuck, thankfully someone did it. He busts out the blow. Just starts wolfing. Oh, yeah, we're live.
Oh, yes. See you, Trip.
Oh, shit, we're live. Oh, goddamn. That's the last time we're going to see Tripp.
Have fun in Vegas tonight.
Yeah. Oh, no, did he actually leave? Was that him signing off?
I think you might have.
I think
You
Fish.
might have just had him quit.
Oh, we didn't even get a chance to say bye to him. Yeah, bring him back. Tripp.
Hey, Trip. We'll see you
Hey, take
later.
it easy, pal.
See you later.
Hey, as Nikishin would say, have a great day. Have a great day.
Boys, thanks for having me. I love what you do for the game. And with my 51 slowing metabolism, you're getting me through a lot of workouts. I've got some elastic pants this year, which are really helping me. But thank you so much for always bringing the content.
Tripp, we're going to have you on more. Like, we're doing 2 pods a week now, and the Monday show is more of like, hey, Caroline, it's hot. Let's bring on Tripp to like talk about what's going on, more of the intel. So we'll be seeing you again soon, buddy. And Caniacs love you, and thanks for all the energy you provide our show. You're a legend, dude. Love those morning texts with your dogs.
Good luck at the tables tonight,
Or is
Trip.
it maybe one dog.
Anything that you ever need, I will talk to you guys soon. Sorry. I'll end it right there. I sent a video to my buddies from the Bellagio yesterday, which was the single biggest blackjack loss I had in my career.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
Go
all right.
get it back tonight.
Well,
Yeah.
well, if the owner wasn't so cheap there, you could get it back. But
That's
Hey,
you.
we're part of their team.
That's you.
oh shit,
Oh,
I'll send you a Venmo.
I'll see you guys.
See you,
Dear
Trip.
brother.
Before we get to Merles, who's coming on to explain talk about a heartbreaking gambling loss, let's go to Biz. This is kind of my Super Bowl for a live Roman ad
Oh
read.
wow.
All right, guys, get your popcorn.
Strap in.
This is
Go
for
get a
Roman?
drink.
This episode is sponsored by Roe, a 2-in-1 prescription treatment designed to help you get stronger, harder erections, and yeah, better sex for the both of you. And here's the cool part. They dissolve under your tongue.
What?
That means they can hit your bloodstream faster than a traditional pill. Once they dissolve, Roe Sparks start working in just 15 minutes on average, so you can be ready when the moment's right.
Oh.
And they don't just help you get hard. We're talking thicker, fuller, longer lasting erections. Whoa. Plus, Roe stays active in your system for 36 hours, so you can go round 1, round 2, even round 3 the next morning.
Whoa.
Totally on the table. And you can even fuck them there.
Oh.
Getting started is easy. Everything's 100% online. Roe connects you with a licensed provider who reviews your info. There's no awkward waiting rooms or face-to-face combos. And if approved, your treatment ships straight to your door. Ready to give it a try? New patients get $15 off Roe Sparks on a reoccurring plan. Just head to roe.com/chiclets. That's ro.co/chiclets to find out if it's right for you. Holy fucking shit!
Hey, who
Are
would've
you
thought?
fucking kidding me?
Who would have
Are you kidding me?
All we had
I
to
better
do.
see the fucking chat popping off like my goddamn boner after I take a Roe pill.
Biz, you should be the guy who reads, those smut books that like mums read?
Like ASMR type?
Avery's?
The way you just read that, if you did Summer Skate,
Hey,
Be a top 2.
turns out he's like a genius if he's just reading about sex.
I know. Oh,
That's-
hey,
Bro Sparks. Bro Sparks. There's the table he's talking about. Wow, Biz.
That was
Holy, I need a break.
You're like Einstein when it comes to having sex.
Just shoot the shit. Don't go to the next topic quite yet. I got to walk that one off.
Yeah. Good luck with a boner.
Hey, Jesus.
Thanks a lot, Paige.
Oh, Fish's forehead's in the way. Oh my God.
Wow, what an absolute read.
We can bring, I think most people would say he might have to pee, but I think he's going to do something else, and I'm not joking. Let's bring on Merles. We don't need Biz to talk to Mer, and God, this poor, Mer.
Oh, God, you look down.
How you doing, buddy?
What's up, boys? Where'd Biz go?
He went to just go release himself in the bathroom of where the place he works. It's a very interesting scenario we have going on. He did an ad read.
Yeah, I saw that. I was excited to hear that. But then I was even more excited to hear that he thinks the owner should pay back his employees' gambling losses. So I feel great. You guys are going to pay me the $29,000 that I should have won.
Merles. So if people don't know, you won a contest to get a $10,000 free bet. What people do know listening is that you're building a new house. You got to get it. You got to get the furniture in. You got to get all these things squared away. So this was an opportunity for you to get a little parlay action, get a 3-1, maybe even bigger bet to win. Go home, tell your wife, listen, I just got 30, 40, 50 grand. You made the decision on the Keenan Allen 5 or more receptions. Is it Tyler Warren 5 or more receptions? Justin Herbert 2 or more TD passes. That's all you had to get done. Warren had 4 catches in the first half, Mer.
It was. He hit the first play of the game. He gets the catch. I said, "Oh, this is it." And I got to say, I was in the group chat with you and Miggs. We were deciding what to do. All day I had Pittman instead of Warren. I don't know what made me flip. And I tried to be smart. I didn't want to be too greedy. I went for the plus 290 instead of the plus 500 one I had built. I had a plus 950 one built to really try to knock a leg out, but in mush fashion, I get the 2 hardest ones probably first, and then the Warren one's sitting there, and he can't come up with one more catch in 21 minutes of game time.
And the crazy thing was, I said to everyone, and I bet your bet, but I'm only thinking about you. I did not care about my bet, but I had said he's going to lose, and he's going to lose by one guy being 1 reception short. And it's like, how do you know with the Mer it's going to happen? The chat saying you invented gambling, so you should actually have.
Someone said he invented static. He's coming through.
I just got picked up at the airport. It was a quick 24-hour business trip that didn't result in any money, but great vibes in the cave with all the guys there. They welcomed me in out there in Chicago. And,
your hands were kind of tied, right? You couldn't bet a hockey game. You had to bet that game, which kind of stinks. If it was a Swedish Elite League game, you would have been.
Who would you have
He
bet?
sent out a Swedish Elite League parlay that hit.
Oh.
I hit it every day last week. I put out a parlay from Europe, and it hit all 5 days. And that 10,000 bonus bet's been sitting in there. I've been just eyeing it,
staring at it
until that game. But I got to say, I got the dream game. It was an over. It was perfect. Everybody else hit their props. Everybody scored a touchdown. Yeah. I picked the wrong guy at the end. I should have. Well, everybody went big.
Everybody seems supportive, other than one guy. Have you guys talked about?
No, we haven't.
I don't understand the whole gambling realm. I'm not like. And I also have never experienced the gambling cave like that live action betting on a game. What's the guy's name?
Meek Phil. Just
he was killing your vibes. Like, was he what happened?
I was told. You go ahead, and I'll tell you what I was told.
Well, everybody else was in. Big Cat put 10 grand on it too to ride along with me.
Oh.
The whole cave was in on it. Jersey Jerry, PFT, all the guys, everybody. So we got the best thing going, and now it's getting this crunch time. It's fourth quarter. Colts have the ball. It could be their last chance here. It's like the last time they have the ball. He goes, a 3-and-out might not be the worst thing here. It's like, what are you talking about?
Just trolling you.
Like, we want a first down so we get 3 more plays, you meatball. And everybody heard it. Everybody wanted to banish the guy out of the cave, but he's a good kid. And
okay, so it didn't amplify from that moment. That was just a bad vibes comment, slip of the tongue, and he's like, my bad.
Well, here's the thing. I was told from somebody that he pretends to care, and after I was told he's pretending to be upset and feel bad, but he doesn't.
That he's giving it the
That
pumpernickel.
he's actually happy,
and he's giving it the pumpernickel.
So I was told by somebody that's in the know that the apology to you on Twitter and stuff isn't real. Now I don't know the guy, but I know you. And I know how angry you get when people make certain comments while you're gambling. So you must have been fuming. You did a good job of kind of hiding your displeasure for the guy as it was going down.
And you're not unless it's a blackjack dealer. You're never usually like
mean.
Yeah, mean or when you have
controversial.
Yeah, or want any
confrontational.
Confrontation. He's the BU
And it was
guy.
fine. It was a bonus bet, and even though because I did get that close for so long, it does feel like I lost the money now. Where before, if Herbert didn't get any touchdowns, fine. Like it was a bad pick because everybody was telling me to take the Chargers. Everybody thought the Chargers were going to win.
In true Merles fashion, though, like all of the ones you sent me 3 days leading up, they all won.
Yeah.
So one of them was 950 plus 950. That one won plus 451. Plus 321.
Did it ever?
Are you in an Uber pool? Why are there kids talking?
Yeah, it's my. I just got picked up at
it's
the
your
airport.
family.
You had to sell them.
So I'm on the way to the hospital.
He coaches the Sharks.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sharpened, and then we got learn to play at 5 o'clock, and then I'll be home a couple days, and then I'm going with our good friend Mr. Ice to chase goals down in New York. So I'll be sitting in that studio.
Take the under chat.
Okay, your audio isn't great, Mer, so this will be the last one, so we don't piss everybody off with the audio situation. What have you been? What's the biggest standout so far in the last week, NHL wise? Like, what's catching your eye?
Colorado, Vegas, our wagons. Obviously, Carolina. You just talked to Tripp. Looks amazing. The game tonight. Take the over tonight. Lots of goals in Vegas tonight.
Okay. All right. We got a pick from Mer. He can give them out. He just can't win on his own. So everyone.
And I'll say this. I know it feels like a big loss, Mer, but like since you've came on board the Chiclets crew, you've been awesome. We're so happy that you got game notes going with Army, and you were incredible representation of what our brand's about. And you went there on that stream and crushed it with all the Barstool Whack Pack. So we love you, buddy. And you're an incredible teammate, and I'm sorry that you didn't hit your bet, but hey, we'll get the next one, baby.
Yeah, and Biz, you missed it when you were gone. You said that the owner should always take care of their employees' gambling wins, so I'll be sending you an invoice for $29,000.
Okay, sounds good, brother.
But it was a free bet.
The man invented interviews, and we got to interview him. So really cool.
Oh,
really cool.
The best.
I want to let either one of you guys take over for the Sabres in just the fact that Josh Doan looks amazing. And there are a lot of Sabres fans that are, I think, loving the trade right now for Kesselring and Doan. No, Paterka's done well. He scored a beautiful goal in front of the owner. Did you see that clip? Ryan Smith on the glass.
Oh, yeah.
Paterka's turn in the corner.
Yeah.
But Josh Doan, he looks great.
Said after the second game, and he hadn't gotten any points yet. Maybe it was the third game. But just like his stick was always in a good spot. He was setting guys up for good chances. You could see that it was coming. The next game, I think he had 3 points. He's just a guy that you can tell, like, he's there. He's hungry to be in the NHL forever or the rest of his career. He's got something to prove. He's getting put in a good spot right now, playing with good players, and he's taking advantage of it because half the, making it in the league is you get put in a good spot, but you got to earn it every single day coming in and out. And he has been awesome. I'm so happy for him. Happy for Buffalo, too, getting off the schneid, playing pretty good hockey right now. And Kesselring has been awesome for Dahlin.
Yes,
just a guy
So there's a lot of people online who, like, one tweet in Sabres Nation went viral where they're like, we won the Paterka trade, right? So I think that we were looking at, okay, well, they're giving up a bona fide 30-goal guy, especially if he plays a full 82, which I still think Paterka can do.
He hasn't played yet, right?
Paterka? Oh, yeah, he's in Utah.
Yeah, he scored a beautiful goal in front of the owner.
He might have 2 or 3 goals.
Is that his first?
I think he's got at least 2 goals. I think he's a 30-goal guy. I think he's got incredible breakaway speed. He's maybe a little bit more one-dimensional sniper. That's at least coming from Buffalo fans, where I didn't know what that defenseman would provide, but I do know that Josh Doan is a highly intelligent player. Maybe deceptively fast. Maybe doesn't look like he's moving as fast and not as strong as a skater as JJ Paterka, but he's efficient. He gets around. He can move. Not afraid of the net front.
Right.
Will take abuse, kind of like Shayne was, right? I would say a little bit less of a bull in a china shop where Donor can oppose his physicality on you. Like if he wanted to move you off a puck, he was going to do it with his 235 frame. But I went to a few ASU games to watch Josh Doan play. And just when he's on the power play and how he understands, like watching from an overhead perspective where maybe there's a pass coming through the seam to him and he understands there's pressure coming on him, well, he'll lift his stick up knowing that it will hit the boards and bounce off and go to where the defenseman would have been to bypass him. And then boom, he'll swing around knowing exactly where his stick needs to be in order to support that defenseman where it now went walking the line. So from an intelligence perspective, like he knows the game of hockey, like he is just a hockey mind. So he's off to this hot start along with helping though on the power play, being a good net front guy. I couldn't be happier for him. And it's always hard following in the shadows of your father who played 1,500 NHL hockey games, but he's really carving out his own path as, you know, good things about Donor's game that you're seeing, but also part of like being a different player. So I couldn't be happier for him because that's not an easy thing to do. And if his progression is anything like we've seen, especially over these first 5-6 games in Buffalo, where he is going to be given this opportunity, I couldn't be happier for the guy, and I think he's going to run with it. So they got a dog in Donor, and you got to imagine Shayne is just so happy that he's getting this opportunity, right?
Yeah. And I think a lot of that too, you remember him when he was there and he was a young kid, but he would watch every single game, be at every single game. And I think a lot of that, especially people with kids in the chat, nowadays kids just watch clips and they just watch the highlights, where he was watching games. So you see little things where he's picking up his stick and he's making the NHL plays at, you know, a younger age, which is impressive. And also he was a late bloomer too. Wasn't the highly touted kid coming up. He played with knives growing up. He was always in his shadow a little bit. So just like got over that adversity, become his own player, and hopefully he's in the NHL for the rest of his career.
Yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying, right? It wouldn't be easy if your father, everyone's going to be comparing you to their dad. Like, I think, you know, there's always like the bullshit, like go second round of the Coyotes, like, oh yeah, here we go, like nostalgia, like, you know, just because he was in the organization. So you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So if you've seen him play at ASU or even coming up, like, you know what his game's about. And man, he's like his hockey mind is brilliant. So good for him. And when you're not afraid to go to the blue paint and you got that good hand eye, fuck, that's like almost what's lost in our game a little bit, right? Guys who aren't willing to go pay the price and sacrifice. Another kid on that team, I talked about him in preseason. I said I love him, is Benson.
5 apples in 2 games.
2 games, right?
Yep.
So as far as that draft class is concerned, a few years ago, I think he's in the top 5 scoring right now. I know it's only been 2 games for him, but for a guy who's what, 5'8", 5'9",
it says 5'10", but I don't know.
Oh yeah, with 3 pairs of socks on, the thick ones. But he plays he plays way above his weight class, and maybe them being the laughing stock of the league to start is what they needed, because they were, their fucking own fans were carving them outside the building. So hopefully they're able. The one thing that we talked about on the TNT call today is normally they'll go 500 to a certain point and then they'll lose, you know, 9 of their next 11. They always go in this really bad.
They have like a 10-game losing streak
where it gets
year.
Where the paper bags come out. So let's just hope they avoid that. And
them in Montreal tonight's a fun one.
Oh yeah,
that's an over possibility right there. Montreal is -155. I mean, Benson, like, and what did he get? Did he get a stick to the eye? Is that what happened? Is that why he missed those games? You saw the picture in practice where
I don't
he was
know,
all banged up.
I don't know,
but him getting back in.
So he actually trained with that Cumbie guy too at the yard. So him and Bedard would be going in there. They would cross over. I think they
not together.
I think they had their private sessions. Sometimes they would be there at the same time, but oftentimes it was so you know, he's putting the work in the off season. Who the defenseman that you said's playing with Dahlin? What type of player is he?
Steady, stay at home, lets Dahlin do his thing.
He's like Rob Scuderi.
Yeah, but like I've said it before, when you're playing with a guy like that as an offensive guy, when you know your guy, like you were talking about Sherrod with Sider, it's like you know your guy's going to be there. It just opens up so much more that an offensive guy can do and not have any pressure of defending as much. I love them.
Good. That's good to hear if you're a Buffalo Sabres fan.
Yeah.
What else do we got, boys?
Well, Well, I want to shout
Archie in
out
that game in Buffalo.
Oh,
Archie.
Archie.
I mean, ripping apart a helmet that you just ripped off somebody's head. I think Darlene got him with the cross check first.
Yeah.
And, Marshy's not taking any of that shit. And how did he get his helmet? That's what I'm curious. Did he rip it off him, or does he pick it up on? He's picked it up on the way to the box and decides I'm going to rip this thing apart on the in the penalty box. I've never seen that done before.
No.
Leave it to Marshy to do something I've never
Innovator.
seen happen.
It's
Innovator.
He's a true innovator.
It's got to be the weirdest $5,000 fine ever.
Yeah.
He did nothing to.
They fined him for that?
$5,000.
Come on.
Mhm.
Was it for attacking him though?
No, I think he kind of got cross-checked first by.
Yeah, then he
led up
jumped on him,
which
and
is a
then
hockey play technically, but then
Archie's wires crossed.
his
He
wires
jumped on him,
crossed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
he ripped that thing apart so fast. It's like
The
Biz at a
equipment manager
meal.
was probably so mad.
When the appetizers come and Biz is sitting there. He's coming back to Boston tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So I think the crowd is going to give him an incredible ovation.
Oh,
for his
yeah.
return and what he did there. And it's kind of nice being him knowing he's going back saying, I wanted to stay here.
Mhm.
Like that. It's completely different. Like I wanted a deal that they didn't want to give me, and then they traded me. So Bruins fans, I think they'll let him hear it loud and clear. Sharks coach Ryan Wasowski. I've known the Wasowskis forever, as Keith has himself. Great family, great people. I'm guessing he wants this one back. Just kind of an odd quote. It does show too the pressure and like how difficult it is to coach in the NHL. Coach a team that's rebuilding and they haven't won. And the first game against Vegas was an absolute disaster. Then they had the Ducks game with all the goals. And all of a sudden he just says, I'd be willing to trade one of my children for a win.
I love the move.
Obviously, the
Maybe
guy
his
just
kid was
wants to
acting
win.
up.
He just maybe could word it different. I'm guessing. But Biz
Well, you don't think Biz's parents would?
Biz right away said, I love it.
I love the move.
Biz would give
It
up any.
challenges the players to ask themselves, well, what would you
Biz
give
would
up?
give up a kid for
What
an
would
RO
you give up
Sparks.
to win?
He'd be like, RO Sparks pills? Yeah, I take my child.
And it challenges his kids to be better at home.
Exactly. It's like, well, do you want to be the one that I give away?
Yeah.
Play the
I mean, it's
video.
up to
'cause-
you guys.
Play the video. You can tell the frustration.
Been a part of these slow starts here these last 3-4 years. I mean, how do you, this group though, I mean, do you think it has sort of the resolve to sort of get back in it, maybe a little bit more so than previous years?
Yeah, I think so. Again, a lot of new players. We got to just keep working, keep teaching from the coaches. We got to keep preparing them. But yeah, trust me, it sucks. Keep telling myself there's got to be a reason why this keeps happening in a sense. I'd give up one of my children for a win. So it's frustrated. I'm sorry for swearing. We're very, very frustrated, and we got to keep working at it.
Love the move.
The guy wants to win.
That's passion.
The guy wants to win.
Yeah.
So
There's nothing that says I want to win like making your kid an orphan,
Yeah.
right?
that's passion. That's passion for sure. For sure. I think also Will Smith got bumped down in the lineup, and then he was asked about it and kind of said, like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of keep doing my thing. And I don't know.
And I would imagine he's probably one of the lowest paid coaches in the league, so less Christmas presents for one of your kids.
Yep.
Like he's thinking, like this is 3D chess for him, in my opinion.
I'm basically speaking to my kids at home.
And
The
like
press conference for the kitchen.
exactly, and then you're at the dinner table, and I don't know how many he's got, 2 or 3, and it's kind of like who's getting voted off
Had
the island.
3.
Oh, you didn't make your bed? Well, fuck. We're desperate for a win. What do you think, sweetie? All right, get the shoebox.
In Winnipeg, Mark Scheifele passed Blake Wheeler for the most points in Winnipeg Jets franchise history. Hit an early power play goal against the Predators to get that done.
They're off to a hot start, right? They're
Standard though.
Always.
Standard.
second in their division in the Central. Like
Standard.
we knew that was coming, so we don't need to double risk them. They'll get a couple praise in a few weeks here.
I feel horrible for Hedel on Vancouver boys, because I think maybe a month ago when we were chatting about teams, talking about Van, we said he could be great, but like this concussion thing, like it gets dangerous. Like you start saying, all right, well, how many more can he get before he has to stop playing? I didn't have a problem with the hit. Did Canucks fans have a problem with the hit?
No, I think that
even Foot said I think it was a clean hit.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be the idiots online who never played where they think any bit of contact, like throw the guy in prison, lock away the key, solitary confinement. But well, and especially the fact that it's Tom Wilson. The one thing in the previews I said, it's like they're already weak at center. Can they stay healthy? And Hedel's had his history, guys, and it sucks. Like awful timing. At what point does a guy who's been suffering so many of these like say, hey, maybe this is not worth it? Especially if you're receiving 2 of them a year. I mean, it's not like the physicality is going away. If anything, like we're in the era where it's more embraced than it was 10, 15 years ago, and they're not fucking magnifying glass over every hit. But yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks because like he's such a talented player, and when he's playing, and I mean, he had 2 goals the one game this year. So, you know, I think we've all kind of, even when we were in the NHL, there's these eras where there are players who just seem to be able to like they're more susceptible to them. Like who were the guys when we were in where
that would get hit like that?
Well, they would just like, it would seem like they were going out with a conky. I mean, remember
Mark Savard, and they become, you get them easier after you've had like it's this never ending cycle. Once you get a couple, that's just scary. And yeah, it's the one injury you're like, all right, well, I'm talking about the 50 years I have after I'm done playing. Like,
yes.
Repair knees, shoulders, and now he'll look like another one. He got off the ice, it looked like a concussion. The hit was enormous. It's Wilson, by the way, has 9 points in 6 games. Like the guy, he will be on Olympic Canada.
Yeah. But it's also too like if for a guy like him and he was playing well, if he does come back, are you a shell of yourself when you come back because you're a little scared to go in the corners, whatever. So the concussion stuff's scary. You just hope he's okay, and hopefully he does come back for the Canucks fans.
So the who's the one? Adam Foote, not Adam Foote.
Deadmarsh,
the second best passer of all time, first best.
Adam Oates. RA's first best.
So Adam Oates works with a lot of high-end skill guys, and part of what he reinforces is making sure your head is up when you're coming through the neutral zone and knowing where everybody is on the ice. And like that is a skill at the NHL because the contact through the neutral zone is not going away. It's kind of like Svechnikov in preseason where he saw the guy and he even looked up a few times. But when you're coming through those areas, you are going to get plowed. Like guys are not going to let up. So for the Hedel purpose, like when you're coming through there, you just have to be aware that you're going to
especially when Tom Wilson's
on the ice, like that is going to happen. So
I think Oates has said before, like there's fluke injuries and that'll always be the
right.
case. But if you're trained well enough or have worked on this aspect of your game, you should never like get injured from a hit while you have the puck.
No,
because you should be able to understand where everyone is, and you should also be able to brace yourself when you know you need to. Like there's things that are going to happen no matter what, but think of like, you know, how many hits has Crosby ever taken with the puck? Like his bad concussion was fluky.
The one against
Steckel.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of guys. Like think of McKinnon. Like they're not only moving at such a high pace and making plays, they're just so aware of where everyone is. Lidstrom, you couldn't hit him. Like there's just I think it really is a skill that you probably don't think of. Like as a younger kid, you're working on stick handling and shooting, but having your head up and like realizing where everyone's coming from and who's on the ice. Maybe it could be taught more the way Oates has talked about it with younger kids.
I remember Patrick Kane came in the league. Everyone's like, oh, he's too small. Yeah. He's going to get smoked out here. But his head's up the entire game. Never gets hit.
We've had the conversation about how they kept backing up when contact came in. Well, like we've talked about on the podcast, like through minor hockey in some areas, they backed up that age where.
Oh, I think it's ridiculous.
I disagree with that so much.
So Bouchard came on and argued that point and made a lot of good points because like some kids at that age have like kind of hit their growth spurt where others haven't, where you're talking about such a big weight and physical discrepancy. But I also feel like the younger you go, the less fast they can move, like the less of the impact will be. That's just like
they're all Gumby,
but it teaches you to keep your head up.
But you're going to learn that at a very, very young age, as opposed. And also, I truly feel there was I would say go back about 10 years for a 5-6 year window, especially during the COVID time. Everybody was uber sensitive to everything, where it was almost like the onus is on the player without the puck, where it's like, nah, we're back to the era where if you're coming up with your head down through the neutral zone, you're going to get fucking rocked.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be doing the player safety bullshit every week. Oh, this, that, suspension. It's like, we're back to where it should be. So onus should be on the puck carrier, knowing who the fuck's on the ice and who's breathing down their neck in the neutral zone. Quickly going back to Winnipeg, Taves is looked solid off the hop, is fit in there seamlessly as well. The only thing I can remember in the outline that I want to talk about is the new mascot.
Oh, Snuffy. Tusky?
Yeah, Tusky.
And who went at him?
Gnarls from.
Oh, he's starting.
So obviously we're tight, and he's team Biz and I'm team Tusky, and So he automatically adapts the Bowie rivalry. So we're going to plot to fuck Bowie up all season long. Like, it's essentially turned into gang wars with the mascots.
WWE.
I don't know who's on our side, me and Snuffleupagus.
I am.
I know that Gnarls isn't, because Gnarls is the mascot for the Nashville Predators, who's also a blue prehistoric animal who's a mascot. So he's like,
you said, very original guy.
Really original. Where now there's battles. Oh, I'm the first prehistoric blue animal mascot. Like, fuck you, you're taking my thunder. Where different conferences, right? Isn't Nashville in the East now? Are they still? They're in the Central.
Yeah,
same division too.
That's part of this, buddy.
That's
part of this.
This is East Coast, West Coast stuff.
The only time you don't need RO Sparks is when you're talking Gnar and Tusky.
Well, I'm on obviously Tusky's side. So if Gnarls wants to fucking smoke, we're gonna bring it. And if you want to side with Bowie, side with Bowie. But
you and Tusky,
your enemy
tag
is my
team
enemy.
match
Tusky.
with Gnarl and
where's
Bowie.
Gritty at in all this?
I'm not a
Lutman's in Chicago.
I'm not a big Gritty guy. Like, no, if I thought
he
I
pied you in the face, right?
He pied me in the face. He turned his back on me when we were there for an appearance. Shady shit, and also like very cocky. Not really like,
hasn't done much for you.
I'm better than you.
Has a very.
He
I'm
wasn't
better.
even there in the 80s when they were 70s.
He's the new money.
1975.
You know what he is? He's new money.
He's new money.
New money. He's from the TikTok era. Piece of shit. No morals. No values. I'm not a Gritty guy. Carlton, the classiest of mascots. Like, you
wouldn't even protect his cubs if somebody ran into
no. He's protected. He's a loyal, caring father. He ain't leaving his kids. Like, Bowie's the type of guy to leave his kids and not pay child support and dodge.
And they win a game.
Yeah. Bowie is he's a complete dirtbag.
I think we got one thing left for this showbiz.
Yeah.
And it's a big announcement.
Biggest announcement in Chiclets.
And people have said, why are you not addressing what's going on? What
we're
the
addressing
hell
it.
is happening? We've been figuring it all out. We've been taking our time. The Rear Admiral.
He's making his return.
Will return.
Yeah.
Rear Admiral. The man. The myth. The sometimes legend, sometimes degenerate. Don't really know what else sometimes. He's back. On the Thursday shows every week, we're going to
Friday shows, we're going to record them Thursday.
Record Thursday, my apology. Friday drop. We will go over what's happened throughout the week since we recorded Monday live. We will then go to an interview that we've kind of talked about, one of those long form interviews that we used to have for, each show. And then it's RA's world. It's RA's time to shine. It's RA's discussion. Whatever he wants to talk about, we're going to talk about. He's got to be prepared. He's got to be ready to go. He's got to have topics. And God knows all you people have watched the show where these topics
it's
incredible.
From paying for Brad Marchand's tickets to what was the other thing the guy despises Elon Musk. Who knows?
Going to the grocery store 1 minute before it closes and being mad at the staff at the fact that they're mad that he's keeping the store open. Like, it is going to be a Kinder Surprise, a mixed bag of nuts. Like, you do not know what you're getting. And not 1 second of hockey might be discussed, and that's okay because RA loves movies. He loves bitching about the craziest shit we've ever heard about. He likes to talk about grind my gears segments. Whatever he wants, it's his world. And RA, the Warthog, is back, and he's got his own spot. Some of you might be saying, oh, well, why can't he be in the mix of the boys? Hey, whoa. We got the Monday show where he might have a Bruins topic he's hot to trot about, and we're bringing an RA live for the Monday show. He's not exiled from our podcast and talking about hockey. We just wanted to make sure that he has his own spot for the topics that he wants to cover, and he's going to drive the bus just like the old times when he opens it up with, hello, everybody. It is RA's world, baby.
And there are people, I am shocked that people thought that we were just kicking him to the side. He'd never be back, and we'd never address it. Like, we're a family.
Idiots.
The founding father, RA. The guy had to get some things right. The dog collar fake diamond necklace on the ice was kind of the last straw for the first version of RA. He's back. He'll be in the mix. Thursday, RA's world. Like Biz said, Monday, we don't know what's going to go on. RA could be on. He could be not on. It doesn't matter. But if you ever for a second thought that he was gone for good and we were never going to talk about it, You don't know the squad.
You're out of your
here.
minds.
You don't know the family we have.
Yeah.
So he's back, and I can't wait to see what he brings to the table. God knows what he's going to be talking about. Something that's bugging RA lately, like I couldn't guess if you gave me a million guesses on what the hell.
Well, okay,
bugs
so
RA
I'll
right
give you a funny inside scoop. So we obviously had one of these Zoom meetings, and we open up the floor to him. Like, was there anything that's bothering you? Anything you want to get off your chest? And the first thing he could think of is some podcast that we recorded where he was in his boxer briefs and he like got up to like fix his papers, and then he had his ass to the camera and everybody could see he was in his tighty whities. And then the fact that was still in the podcast, where it's like,
or put on pants.
Maybe just you put on pants for work. It just I think that's more on you than on our editors, where they got other shit to worry about. Like, maybe just wear pants to work.
He thought it was gotcha culture.
But but that's why we love RA, guys. Like, RA is he's a one of one. He is a specimen, and we want him to be him. And he will be that, and he's going to be a better version of himself after coming back after this break. And everybody needs a little reset once in a while, and everybody who follows us, like, we're a whack pack. Like, everybody deserves a second chance, and this is his chance to return and blow everybody out of the water, and also like bring more entertainment to our life. Because when fucking RA's on his game, dude, like, we got the warthog. Like, we have these encrypted moments in our podcast journey that will live forever. So I'm fired up.
I hope he comes on Thursday scratching his ass.
I hope he's fucking doing the same. I hope he's got a big skid mark in the back too, just to really get it going, right? Like,
I'm back, baby.
I'm back. Nothing says you're back like fucking
not wiping your ass.
Not using dude wipes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got to say about RA's return. And I think we're all just fired up. Like,
it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. And lastly, want to promote breast cancer awareness merch. 5under40.org. Jesus, wait. Buy some merch. Let's buy some ladies some wigs. 5under40.org. Go check it out. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we got all the merch. And Biz, the Rangers score a goal at home tonight. We're in New York City.
I'm not that optimistic. There was one more thing. So before we started recording this, we went on a podcast called Son of a Boy Dad.
Yes.
And it's a Barstool podcast with Francis Ellis, Little Sass, who's like a one-of-a-kind comedian. He was in Les Mascots. And then Roan, who we've had on our podcast before, who was like a battle rapper. He's a fucking genius at what he does. He was just on this live streamers stream. Kai Sinet. I'm not familiar with the guy, but I guess he gets like 1 million concurrents of people watching what he's doing. Roan obviously crushed a freestyle on that. So these guys are just three genius minds, like faster and quicker witted than us. All three of us went on their podcast. So the six of us sat down, checked them out.
Tomorrow.
They're huge juggernauts at Barstool in the comedy world. They do stand up all over the country, so support them in that way. So check out that. And Francis has
RA stories too.
Francis has a couple or one RA story, and it's just an all-timer. So it just fit in perfectly and reminded me that we went on that podcast, and RA is one of a kind, and I can't wait to see him on Thursday.
He'll be back Thursday. I can't wait. First live show in the books right there for this season. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to Trip Tracy. Real name Emmett. Never knew that.
Thank you. Thank you to Fishy and G for scrambling and getting our mic set up before this podcast. We got the best production team in the world. Berta, Memesy, Nick is in the fold.
Bad driver.
He got fired as our personal driver.
That guy can't drive.
But we love all you guys. Pasha, even though he's a Devils fan and he's a jock sniffer, we love our whole team. Julia, who runs the whole Pink Whitney account. Arm Dog. What's he up to right now? Well, you know what? GM Joe.
Wednesday.
Fuck it. Let's just thank everybody.
Hey, Wednesday, game notes, noon. You want the Chiclets? We're going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Chiclets. Game notes Wednesday noon. Arm Dog and Mur can go into that bad beat a little bit more. I'm sure he will. He'll be talking about that for the next 10 years. But that's it.
RA is back, bitches.
Back, baby.